Hi guys, we're back again with the HT barn find restoration. Now previously in the other video we'd taken the rear sill off and we'd had a good hack at it, and this time what I've done is we've gone over and we've done some repairs. Now if you don't know if you remember, and this is actually quite a bad angle, I can put this up there and you can see there is a new lower quarter panel on there, and also we've repaired underneath, and there's a piece of metal there now where there was before there was rust and there was a great big hole. Now I haven't painted, I've painted up the top part there just to seal it properly, but what I've done is I've stripped it all back to metal. I put rust converter on it, let it do its process, then put an etch primer on it, and I've painted it with black. Now this other part here I haven't quite finished yet because, as you can see, there's a rust hole here. Now for sake of ease, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut that. There's another piece of metal there which sits over the top of it, so it's okay, it will take a little bit more heat at that point. And I'll take it down to the corner because you can take a little bit more heat in the corner and up here, and I'll just try and cut it back far enough that it won't blow out. I'm making sure the metal's good, but it's actually not too bad. It's just in that spot, and I'd say what's happened is that some of the tar which has been placed in there has just broken away from the metal, and moisture's been allowed to get in there because the rest of it's pretty good. Now there are a couple of little pinholes there and there, which is, I just said there's a couple of pinholes. Now what I intend to do with those is I've got a piece of aluminium, or aluminum as some people like to call it, which I'm going to stick in behind the back of it. Because I'm welding steel, the aluminum or aluminium will dissipate the heat, and it'll stop it from blowing more holes. So because they're only tiny little holes and I don't really want them to get bigger, I think I can just fill them. There's no point in cutting the metal out. Now the reason why I say that is I can get to both sides of this, and I can grind both sides so that you won't be able to see that it's there, and I can also seal both sides too, which is really important, because if you're going to do a patch you want to be able to get to both sides of the patch. Otherwise you're only inviting more problems. Now I have gone over and cleaned the boot down and put etch primer on it, and I've actually stripped the whole bottom of the car with wire wheel and flapper disc, or not flapper disc, paint removing disc, and sandpaper in the tight little corners, and wire brushes and all sorts of things. But I haven't used any chemical on the bottom, and I haven't used any sand on this part of it, and the reason for that is just the amount of mess that it creates. So my floor plan's pretty good, apart from the one that I replaced previously, and that's been replaced, and that side is in undercoat. This one here, I still have a couple of very small holes to do down the bottom here, in not these holes. These holes are drain plugs, which they put tar inside them, or mastic. And this is a proper drain as well, a drain plug, which I've got new ones for. But I'll paint that as soon as I've finished with the little spots of rust. I mean, there's only tiny little pinholes here and there. There's really not much. But I just want to be exactly perfect and get to both sides of it, like I said, because if you can get to both sides of it, it's all right to fill a little hole, especially if you've got something like if you're using an aluminium, which the steel won't stick to, but it'll help the heat get away a bit faster. And for us people who aren't as experienced a welder, it will make your welds better without blowing holes in things. Now my friend Adam has been helping me hugely with this, and I've got to really thank him. He's been absolutely fantastic. He's actually welded most of this in. I've been doing some patchwork, but he's done the majority of the welding. We've both put in some pretty awesome hours. Now, I need to clean the boot, and that's my next job on the list, is to give the boot a good old clean out. I don't know how well you can see in there. Camera's not so great, it's pretty dirty, but it's not rusted and it's really good. We've got metal now, we've got all metal. We don't have rust. It's only forward from here, boys. All right, I'll update you shortly. Cheers.